Thank you, my friend. Today we're going to talk about validation. It's such an important skill that we can use to get beyond emotional reactivity when we're stuck into a difficult situation with someone in life or at work. Now, I'm going to give you some skills and tips about validation so you can get your mind around it and begin to practice. Before we begin, I would love it if you click subscribe to the channel, and let's keep it moving. Now, what is validation? The key question that you want to be asking in validation is, what is it about my partner that makes sense to me? Now, this partner may be, partner could be anyone in your life. Right now, I'm your partner. I hope it makes sense to you that I'm here wanting to offer these skills and tips so that people can get beyond emotionally reactive patterns and really connect to their authenticity and move the energy up the emotional scale, both inside themselves and in their interactions. Validation is an important part of this because we could get really, really tripped up with what people say, important people in our lives, important people at work, where our own stuff gets in the way and we're not able to move the energy into a better place. So we want to be asking, what is it about this partner that makes sense to me, even if I don't like it? What is it about you that makes sense to me? So we can imagine looking at that partner without saying it. Just imagine there's somebody frustrating or someone that maybe is important to you but says something frustrating or has frustrating patterns for you, things that they do or say that trigger you. So just sit with me right now and practice some mirroring with me as if you're looking at them. And say this out loud to yourself. You make sense to me. And here's what makes sense. Just sitting with those questions, those statements, those affirmations. You make sense to me. And here's what makes sense. So already your mind may be opening, may be more curious, and that's what we want. We want to be able to move you immediately out of that trigger, knee-jerk reaction, that awakening of hurt, anger, frustration that you may have. And it's fair that you have it, but even while you have it, even when you're triggered, the ability to see that partner, the ability to witness that partner, notice them, and in your mind, while you're hurt, in your mind, get curious and allow yourself to use this affirmation. You make sense to me. Even if you don't know what makes sense yet, just start with that. You make sense to me, and here's what makes sense. So from the standpoint of being triggered by somebody, I want you to mirror this back so you can get a sense of using validation. Even though I feel triggered right now, just mirroring that back. Even though I don't like what you just said, this means mirroring, saying it out loud to yourself to practice. I can take a breath. I could notice you. And I could ask myself, what is it about this person that makes sense to me? What is the dominant emotion that they are feeling right now? How can I sit with my own anger and frustration and still not lose my mind? How can I allow my mind to be curious and make sense of my partner in the moment? Excellent. Now, how is this going for you so far? If anything's coming up, please leave a comment or ask a question. Happy to hear from you about this. And make sure to watch some of the other videos in the channel because they'll give you a little bit more nuances about validation and how to communicate with your partner when you're triggered. So what we really want to be doing is enter a wider field, a more expansive container for the energy between you and this partner. And when I say partner, it could be anybody in your life, just the person in front of you. As I said before, right now, I'm your partner. So if you sit with this, that you might very well be triggered. You might be very well taken into anger. And maybe it is a chronic issue. But you have the ability inside yourself to sit with that anger. Just sit with it. Be with it without lashing out, without going into blame. Noticing your own anger. And even better, expanding your mind so that the anger can be there. It's as if you're saying, well, I have a larger capacity of myself. So my mind allows me to sit with this anger, with this frustration, with this disappointment, being with it, and still expanding the mind and being able to wonder, what is it that makes sense? What is it about me that triggered them, that brought this language or behavior out in them? Where is it that they're coming from? Can I look at them and notice the story? What led up to this? What was the momentum, the energy, the dominant emotional force that was happening inside them that led them to say or do what they are offering to me? There's a lot more we could say and there's a lot more we can practice here, but let's try some mirroring. Mirror these affirmations back as practice so you can go a little bit deeper with this. I'm becoming curious about you. I can manage my own anger and frustration and still wonder where it is that you're coming from. All I have to do is get curious. I don't have to fix anything. I don't have to solve anything. All I need to do is be curious about your world. And when I do that, I know that the emotional energy moves up the scale. Simply by being curious and validating you, I create a state of calm. I create a state of well-being. And that will help us feel more connected. Excellent. Good work, my friend. Now, as I said, I could go much deeper about this work, and I hope that you're willing to try that. So I invite you to consider trying an intro session with me on Zoom. Take a look at the description section and just click the link and fill out the form. And if you're curious about where I'm coming from, you could learn about me and my work and my process by getting my book, The Zen of Solo Travel, A Journey from Anxiety to Enlightenment. It's about a trip that I took by myself to Japan, where I discovered the idea of mirroring at a Zen rock garden in Kyoto. It's a beautiful and funny book to read, so I hope you get it. Thank you, my friend.